Pandemic or no pandemic, one thing is always certain. Getting kids out and active is always a goal worth shooting for. Reporting from Little Falls, James Corrigan, News Channel 2. Well, the Syracuse Orange came in with a lot of questions today, having not played in 4 whole weeks, but it's safe to say those questions were answered and then some in a 99-64 win over Miami, the largest margin of victory in any ACC women's basketball game this year. Syracuse did not do much wrong on Sunday afternoon, shooting 64% from the floor, going 17 of 30 from 3, and Priscilla Williams did even less wrong, going a perfect 9 of 9 on her way to ACC Freshman of the Week honors. But Syracuse will have to crack a defense that held it to just 29% shooting a month ago. The story for the Orange was an oh-so-familiar tale as Tiana Mangakahia lit up the stat sheet in her return from a 615-day absence. But the optimism surrounding this year's team is more than just the talent on the court, but also the people on the court. And that, of course, refers to the returning Tiana Mangakahia to the Orange after missing all of last season with breast cancer. Tiana and Kiara have played together before, but not when both have been starters, and the dynamic duo could prove deadly this year in the ACC. SU still looking for its first ACC win of the year. Plenty of hype before the game, and plenty of hype early on, especially for the offense. First quarter, BC up 3-0. Tommy DeVito from 9 yards out finds Aaron Hackett round the back door for the score. Hackett's 5th TD of the year. SU up 7-3, and they would go up 17-10 going into the second. But that's when things started to fall apart. Dennis Grossell to Kobe White for 64 yards. BC scored 4 touchdowns of 54-plus yards in the second quarter alone, including from this man, the ACC's leading rusher, A.J. Dillon, 51 yards to the house. It was hard enough as it was going into the year with numerous opt-outs, but things have gone from bad to worse after the injury bug turned into the injury monster. Quarterback Rex Culpepper is set to make his second start of the season for the injured Tommy DeVito Saturday against Clemson. And defensively, true freshmen and walk-ons littered the depth chart. In fact, half the available players for the Orange as a whole are freshmen. But Dino Babers is not worried as much about results on the field as he is getting his young guys better.
Alex, 2 years ago when Jimmy Rivera beat Uriah Faber, his stock rose and he became a contender. Do you see a similar scenario for you this weekend if you beat your opponent, Cowboy Cerrone? And Henry, do you think the flyweight division would still be on the chopping block if Demetrius Johnson were still the champion?
It's all over from Queens. The Peacocks make history, beating an Atlantic 10 side for the first time since 1991 in taking down LaSalle 62-51. The most impressive stat of the day, assists. The Peacocks last season were one of the worst teams in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio, but today, 17 assists to just 11 turnovers on 23 made shots. Welcome back to another edition of the St. Peter's Newcomer Spotlight. We continue to highlight the incoming freshmen and transfers from the baseball team. Joining me from his home in North Carolina is freshman pitcher Robbie Black. Robbie, great to see you today. Well, I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. Robbie, during the pandemic, aside, of course, from working out, improving on your game, were there any hobbies that you took up during your free time? Keep locked on to @CitrusTV Sports on Twitter for all the latest on Syracuse athletics. This is James Corrigan saying good night from the Dome.